I'm recording for a second.
So anyway, we have. Ladies,
costume match.
We're on.
Regular commission meeting, 7:00 PM, Wednesday, December 13th, 2023.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Here.
Acting Clerk Commissioner Kashem is not here at the present time. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Here.
Vice Mayor Morrissette?
Here.
Mayor Mohammed?
Here.
We have quorum.
Okay. We're gonna skip around just a little bit here. Actually, since you walked in, you can go ahead and stay standing. 8.4. Are you guys ready? 8.4? Rachel?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Hot date tonight?
No.
Oh, okay. See, I was gonna get you out early. Zoning, 8.4 zoning amendment, acting town manager, public service director, Ghany, applicant, B&H 2550 LLC, Rachel, I'm not gonna say, yeah,
Madam Mayor, may I read the title for the record?
yes.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Commission. For the record, the item ordinance 2023-017 is an ordinance of the town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 28 entitled Zoning by specifically amending Section 28-209, creating subsection H, providing for certain temporary uses, providing for expiration, providing for codification, providing for conflict, severability, providing for an effective date. Mayor, this is second reading and a public hearing.
Okay,
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the commission. Rachel Streitfeld, Caldera Law, 7293 Northwest 2nd Avenue. We thank you for approving this ordinance on first reading last month. One minor change was added that you agreed to last month, which was the permitted use of the medical marijuana dispensary. Simply ask for an affirmative vote this evening. We have also a resolution that will apply this zoning amendment to our property. So I'm here if you have any questions, but we've already discussed this, and you've approved it already once.
okay, open a public hearing, does anyone from the public wish to speak? That's all. Okay. Back before the commission and entertain a motion to adopt.
I entertain a motion to approve the, what's the number of it? 2023-017. Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Nope.
Nope.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
No.
Motion passes 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, that's what she
3 to
said.
But you said 2.
No,
It sounded like you said
correct.
2-1.
You said it correct.
It sounded like you said 3.
I have a cold. My apologies.
Okay. Resolutions 9.1, temporary use.
May I, Mayor? Thank you. Item 9.1 is Resolution 2023-016. This is the companion item to the ordinance that was just adopted on second reading. The item is a resolution of the Town Commission, the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, approving BH 2550 LLC's petition number 23RZ01, attached to Exhibit A, under Section 28-209H of the Town Code, authorizing certain temporary uses in the MXE Mixed-Use Entertainment District for the property located at 2550 Southwest 30th Avenue. That's folio number 51422871010, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
Any discussion? No? Then I'll entertain a motion.
I entertain a motion to approve 2023-016.
Second.
Okay. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor Morrissette?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Okay. We're gonna go on to sorry. Okay.
Mayor, I do have a change to the agenda.
Okay.
And also if we could bring up the other item, which is, I believe, 12.1, which is the other item by
Yeah.
our planner.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that one.
Okay,
he
and
wants
then we're
9.2.
removing 11.1.
Okay. Okay. (9.2) F dot, project development and environmental study for I-95.
Madam Mayor, may I?
Go ahead.
For the record, Resolution 2023-027 is a resolution of the Town Commission, the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, endorsing and supporting the Florida Department of Transportation Project Development and Environment Study for the I-95 corridor south of Hollandale Beach Boulevard, that's State Road 858, to north of Hollywood Boulevard, State Road 820, as more particularly described in Exhibit A, attached here 2, incorporated herein, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. It's on the floor for your consideration, Mayor and Commission.
Entertain a motion.
Yeah, let me just,
You looking for it?
here.
That smell clean. It smells clean and
I
proper.
entertain a motion to approve 2023-027.
A second.
Is there any further discussion? No, roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette. Sorry, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. 12.1, Koinonia Traffic Way Waiver.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Mike Vondermeulen. This item is a motion to allow the town manager to go ahead and sign a letter of no objection for a traffic ways waiver. This is a separate application that'll go to Broward County, and then it'll be up to the Broward County Planning Council to make their decision. So this essentially allows Koinonia Worship Center to make an application to Broward County. This item was brought to you at your October meeting. However, there was a discrepancy in one of the exhibits that was being applied to to the county, as well as one of the exhibits to your review. There is essentially one minor change. There is going to be a 15-foot right-of-way dedication, and previously there was a 15-foot right-of-way easement that was just to the west of the dedication. That has been reduced down to 10 feet, so from 15 feet down to 10 feet. We still have 25 feet from the center line, which is a minimum requirement for any roadway in the town, so this still complies with your comprehensive plan. And we have no objections to the modification and the request.
Okay. Did you want to come up and speak, or you're just good and we can keep moving? Okay. Okay. We're good? Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I entertain a motion to, make the motion.
Okay.
All right. To approve 12.1, the Koinonia traffic waiver.
A second.
Koinonia. That's a tongue twister, isn't it?
Okay.
Well, the meaning is good.
And Bill seconded, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay, thank you. Did you have anything else while you're standing there, Mike? Did Michael have anything else? Right, yes or no?
No.
No? Okay. You have something you want to mention?
Sure. Mayor, we have received our first request for information concerning Senate Bill 102, which is also called the Live Local Act. And staff is currently reviewing the request, and we'll probably have more information to you at your workshop.
Sure. Yeah, just to speak on that, I did get a call from our lobbyist this afternoon, and he actually apologized that he can't make it. But at our next workshop in January, the first one, January 3rd, he will give the commission a detailed update on Senate Bill 102 and how it affects the town.
And on that point, Mayor, Commissioner, you may also recall about a month or 6 weeks ago, our office provided a fairly detailed legal memorandum breaking down the different requirements of the Live Local Act that relates to affordable housing and some other related components pertaining to development and developers' rights, some of which require commission action, some of which do not require commission action. We recently received the inquiry from Mr. Von der Meulen, which was sent to Alim and I yesterday. We're reviewing that application along with the new law and determining how it will impact the town. So we will follow up along with the manager and your planning consultant to report back to the commission in January.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I don't have any, oh wait, I gotta get David out. Okay. Where are you at, David? Where are you at? No, but his contract renewal. Where is that? What? Yeah, but I didn't want to make him stay unnecessarily. You needed to add it. All right, so I've taken care, oh wait, enterprise. No, she's,
Mayor, may I trouble you just to
Yes.
open up public comment in general at the beginning of the meeting?
okay. Number 6, public comments related to agenda items in good and welfare. Are there any public comments? Nope. Okay,
Thank you, Mayor.
let's try to get everybody out that's charging me hourly. All right. So then we'll go on to number 7, the consent agenda. I'm going to pull 7.2 because I would like to have some discussion on that one. Yeah. Okay. It's on. Is there anything anyone else wants pulled off of the consent agenda?
Since we didn't have a workshop, every item on here should be discussed.
I kind of had that conversation earlier with the city attorney. He said that in most cities, the consent agenda is set by the manager and can be,
Yeah, if I may, this
Yes.
is entirely within the purview of the city commission. Pembroke Park we know is unique given our charter form of government. Most cities, as the mayor indicated, the manager determines what goes on the consent agenda, and any member of the city commission can pull any item off the consent agenda. Just because items are on consent, it's simply a matter of efficiency, but there's absolutely no requirement to even have a consent agenda. If any member of the commission wants to pull any one of these items, that is their independent prerogative to do so, and they'll be heard separately. To the extent that the commission wanted to approve any number of these items as a package, as part of a bundled motion, that is also legally appropriate. There is no legal requirement that you have workshops prior to your meetings. It's a tradition, custom, and practice in Pembroke Park to do so. Usually at those workshops, you assign items to the consent agenda. I do not specifically know how these specific items made the consent agenda this evening, but if any item, if any member of the commission wanted to pull an item from the agenda, that is certainly within their prerogative to do so.
so I'm going to leave it to you guys.
I say we pull 7.1 through 7.11 and discuss each and every item.
Okay, let's get started. 7.1, approval of minutes. Is there any questions regarding the minutes? If not, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes for September 27th, October 25th, November 8th, and November 27th. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 7.1.
Okay. Is there a second?
Get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call.
That will wake everybody up.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor Morrissette. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. 7.2, cost for updating the drawings for the police build-out. IT Director Mark.
Mark Pakula, IT Director. Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. What you have before you is, this is an adjustment to fix the plans for changes that we made that needed to be made. I know the Chief and I have been working on it with other people, and she's made some really good decisions on utilizing space that was really designed wrong, and we're going to get it done right. And so these are the costs for just the drawings, SOW to be done. And then once we get that, and that's approved, probably within the next month, we're going to get the quote from the builders. And then we'll bring that back to you for final approval.
Okay. And I'm going to ask the question on this one. Okay.
Sure.
So this is to get it right, correct? This is going to include what?
This is going to include in the front office, the chief came up with a good idea because we had to make space for a certain employee that has sensitive information, and there was no allocation to put him anywhere in the new police department. So we took what we called the fishbowl, and we decided to carve out an office for that individual. And so we used that. That was a good idea. And then we're also getting rid of 2 of the showers to make room for holding cells. That was something that has always been brought up and for some reason was just never put in, but it needs to be. Those are the major things, some doors here and there, some minor adjustments. But those are the 2 big ticket items that the reason we're coming back up here today.
Okay. And, okay, so at this point now, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page and that we're actually doing this right this time so that we're not wasting any more resources of the town by spending money to do things over and over again. So now we have all parties involved, is that correct? So that
Yes,
way we're not putting
I'm-
walls up without wires?
And Aleem and the chief, I make sure the chief is involved in everything because ultimately it's her say on what's going on. And I think she's really taken ownership. We've done a couple walkthroughs and really looked at everything, every wall, every door, every light switch, every room, utilizing some things. The way it was designed originally, it wasn't, in my opinion, could have had a little more thought to it, but it's fine now. Like I said, I think she's doing a great job with it. And I can't imagine we're coming back for any more drawings. I think this is it. I think.
Yeah, I just want to mention that there are 2 other items on the agenda that is going to come up for discussion for this. We actually had the walkthrough with a punch list developed last week. There are 2 items that are going to be holding back the certificate of occupancy for that space, and those 2 stem back to the original contracts and the original project administration on that build out. Number 1 would be the AC system is inadequate. The engineer of record and also the architect, I'm getting a letter from them stating the deficiencies and who gave them directions on those. The second thing would be the not only the AC system, but the fire alarm system, which is also tied in to the elevators. Without those approvals, I met with the fire chief for the department, and he has already told me that no CO would be given to that space until the town brings the whole building up to code. That is one of the commitment that we have to make in order for us to occupy that space. And prior project administrators on that, and he has some communication that he has shared with me on it, and I will send it to you. That's why it's on the commission for approval and what was missing and what is inadequate for us at that time when the contract was signed. Number 1, the biggest one being the AC system. And if you look at what is going on in the hallway, all of that, actually we had a meeting today with the engineer of record and the architect concerning all of those items. Direction was given to the contractor without the architect knowing. And all of those, I'm getting the files and the records for those things, and it will be brought forward before the commission. That meeting was held today. So all of this is going to be tied into one bundle as you have asked me to do, and that is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I could say that I think we're working good together. Everybody's involved, and we're getting every discipline that needs to be working on this as a team.
Okay, so there's, seems to be a lot of economic waste that occurred in this build-out. And I would like to make sure that we, this new board, is not wasting the town's time and money and doing things over and over. So this time, the wiring for your stuff, for IT, is actually going to be put in the walls before the walls are closed up?
No, that's already passed. That should have been done over a year ago. That ship has sailed.
But
you know,
anything else moving
and-
forward, we're doing it in the right order now.
Now we are as best we can. Unfortunately, when these plans were done, that's a blueprint for everything else that we do. So now that the plans are no longer good, all my vendors, everything they've done, every quote is no longer valid. So what has to happen is we need to get this done first, then I can give this back to my vendors, get new quotes. Unfortunately, you know, it's been a year since we've been down this road, so prices go up. So we just have to deal with that and move forward. But I truly agree that the decisions we're making now as a team are going in the right direction.
Okay, and you're still in the process of finding someone to do an audit for the police build-out?
Yes.
Okay.
We're actually going through the punch list items right now in detail. I had a meeting with Mark and the other staff members who went through it today. I'm going through in detail every pay invoice, every change order that was approved, the so-called window, $25,000 window, all of that. We have all the materials stored in the back, and it's on record. I will be bringing it forward when everything is collected. I will be bringing all the invoices, all the paid items as requested through, to the commission.
That includes fire suppression and air dampers, the fire dampers, and the AC system?
The AC system is being designed separately for the whole building right now. And I actually issued, to the fire department to send a request so they can issue a temporary CO for that space until the whole building is brought up. But I have requested 6 months, and hopefully I will share that email with the fire marshal. What I've requested, I will share that email with the commission as well. So that way we have 6 months to bring the building up to code in order for us to occupy that space.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
Do you need a motion to approve this work?
Not to exceed 24,000.
4,000. I entertain a motion to approve the work on the 7.2, not to exceed 24,000.
There a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call.
So,
I'm just going to state again that holding cells will not be used. There's a lot that goes to them. I believe this is a waste of resources for the town, for the police department.
Mark, I think we spoke to the person who was in charge, and they sent us some information on the holding cells. You want to share that with us?
In regards to, I think when we walked through, the chief had given her direction, and there's a lot of different ways to do these cells. I think with the chief's direction, we wanted to do it the right way, but make it cost effective. As to whether they're necessary or not, I'm going with the chief on that. She's the chief of police. I think she knows what we need to have, not me. I'm just taking care of it.
And also, we spoke to the architect of record on that, and he also has some direction from what in speaking to other police departments and his experience in doing those.
all right.
Okay.
Don't forget 5.1,
Yeah.
the ambulance.
Yeah. Roll call.
Motion by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Approval of FLGISA Winter Convention. What do you need, an amount not to exceed what? 1,500. Okay.
Yeah, this is just a budgeted item for
Okay.
department.
Wait, listen, I'm gonna rush you along here.
All right, no
I'll
problem.
entertain a motion to approve for the IT director to go to the conference, the FLGISA, for an amount not to exceed 1,500.
Not to,
Can I get a motion?
not to exceed what?
1,500.
I'll make a motion to approve the winter convention from Mr. Pakula, not to exceed 1,500.
I second.
Is there any discussion?
Nope.
Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor Morrissette. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. Item 7.4, upgrade to the storage of the town servers. I'll entertain a motion to approve $26,000 that's budgeted for the Dell drivers on the state contract. You gonna make my motion?
Yes, I can make a motion to approve 7.4 max $26,000.
I'll second.
Okay, is there any discussion?
Yes. I believe the town has a great deal of financial bleeding going through the IT department.
Okay.
Understand things need upgraded, but there's a lot that keeps going through this department.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
Item 7.5, ClearPoint Strategy Software. This is a cleanup item for some contract that was signed prior to us for an amount of $17,001. Is there any, we want to do a 2-second, or is everybody aware of this item? That there's no need to have the discussion and we can move it on?
Okay.
You guys are all aware of this item? It was a contract that was signed, I don't know when.
Sometime
I heard about it, yeah.
Spring, early summer.
Okay.
Well, since it's already signed, do we need to make a motion for this?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the contracts. 7.5. Is there any maximum value here?
No, it's $17,001 is what they signed.
17,100. Okay.
They signed a contract for. And this, again, I just want to be clear that there was no way of getting out of this thing, right, Attorney? Okay. Okay, and this is also the commissioner's first notification of this item. This was not brought before the commission before, so it's a contract that was signed and executed by the town, and we're just cleaning up and rectifying the situation.
Mayor, could you move the microphone closer to you?
Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Did I need to repeat it, or are you good? Okay. All right, so there was a motion. Did you second it?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. Sonic firewall renewal. Okay. Wait, that wasn't the right page. Hold on.
What is a SonicWall?
That's part of our firewall. This is
Okay.
just renewing licenses. These are all budgeted items. These are just renewals, things like that.
I'll make a motion to approve the Sonic firewall, not to exceed $6,500.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Nope. Roll call.
Necessity.
I'm sorry, you said 6,500? Okay. Okay, motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. Town social media automation.
7.7. So basically what this is for the town to clean up their social media. We've had some issues in the past. It's been passed around from employee to employee. So I'm bringing in a company to get it cleaned up, automated. It's going to work in tandem with the police department. And the town. So things that the police department puts up automatically get on our social media and vice versa. The police will control their message, and then we'll have somebody on the town side take it over once this is cleaned up. It's going to take about 3 to 4 months, because basically what we have to do is tear down what we have and build it the right way.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve 7.7, not to exceed $7,000.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
7.8, renewal of website and mass notification systems for emergencies and events.
Yes, this is also renewal, budgeted item. We're renewing our website. We are going up to another platform, which gives us a lot more flexibility. It'll also give us a full redesign. The other thing that we're putting in with this is the notification system, because what we use now is called Everbridge. Everbridge is getting pulled from the government and is no longer going to be available to us. So like a lot of cities, we have to go out and find another way to get a mass notification system. So they have one built in. The difference between this one and Everbridge, not only can we do it for emergencies and things about boil water or public works, but we also can do events with it. So it's going to be a lot for all our events that we can get stuff out to the public a lot easier with this, because Everbridge really is only for emergencies and things of that nature, not events.
Well, any discussion on that?
Motions for renewal for CivPro.
Motion for renewal of the, what you call that? Cisco?
CivPro.
CitPro, okay. Not to exceed $13,487.88, budgeted item.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Jacobs.
No.
Sorry, Commissioner Jacobs.
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
One other thing I'd just like to say, I'd like to thank Rick Steakhouse for hosting our holiday party. They were very nice to us and bent over backwards. I think everybody had a great time, and there was nothing we couldn't have gotten. They asked whatever we need help with, however they wanted it. They were accommodating, and I just want to thank them and their staff, Ed and Ron, for helping us have a very good holiday party.
Yes.
Thank you.
I approve that.
And I want to thank staff for the wonderful job that they did on getting us all together and planning and getting everything situated. So I want to thank everyone for that as well.
Thank you.
You pulled 7.9, right? Did we pull 7.9 or no? I have a circle.
No,
No.
no.
It's still on. Okay. All right. So the CSA vehicle revision. So I know that, do we need a motion for the enterprise for the two vehicles to be, we're not doing the two vehicles with the mold? Okay, but we have two things though, the mold for the two vehicles and then the ARPA for the two vehicles? Or,
The mold was within my less than.
okay, so you switched out the two cars with enterprise. Okay, and then you're doing the two Mavericks, that's something else, that's something else, that's something else now? Okay.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Commission. My name is Roshana Dabney-Donovan. I am your Chief of Police for the Town of Pembroke Park PD. On May 10th, 2023, the Commission approved the purchase of two Ford Mavericks for our community service aides. Those Mavericks are no longer available for purchase. So what we're asking for is to take two Ford Explorers that are already in our fleet to provide for the CSAs who are currently on staff and upfit them, meaning stripe them, give them all of the inside tools that they need to run efficiently to replace the Ford Mavericks. And then at a later time, at a later date, come back before you guys to have the submittal of two additional vehicles to replace the two Ford Explorers.
All right.
Okay. So it's not to exceed $80,000 to stripe the vehicles?
So 10,000
10,000.
stripes of vehicles
Okay.
Is that per vehicle?
per vehicle, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the, the rigging of them.
It's actually costing us around $8,500. The recent ones that we did a few months ago, it cost us $8,500 per vehicle to outfit it and to get it restriped. When it comes from the dealer, it comes, bare bones, and we outfit it with all the other, fitting the stuff for the computer, the striping and paint, and all the other stuff for the police officers to use them.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion for amount not to exceed 20,000 to restripe the 2 vehicles for the CSA. Who's gonna give me the motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the CSA vehicle revision not to exceed 20,000.
Is there a second?
I second.
Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkin,
Sorry,
seconded by Vice
discussion.
Mayor Morrissette.
Okay, discussion.
Agree to purchase 2 CSA vehicles. Why 7 months later has it not been done?
Oh, okay.
Would you like to approach?
As I understand it, you couldn't deliver, right?
So when those vehicles at the
Sorry,
Sorry.
name and
State your
number for the
name.
record.
Good afternoon. My name is Abayo Manning. I'm the client strategy manager with Enterprise Fleet Management. At the time, we did not have Mavericks available. I submitted escapes. Mavericks were not available, but they were approved. So we did not have, Mavericks were not available at that time. So that's why we couldn't order them. The manufacturers did not have them available and dealers did not have them available to order. So we had to figure out alternatives so you can have the CSA vehicles available.
So at the time we approved it in May, they were available.
They were not available. So when I what I submitted were Ford Escapes because those were available. I wasn't here. The Mavericks got approved, and when they got approved, I asked why did we approve Mavericks because I didn't recommend those. They weren't available at the time. So that's why I wasn't able to order them. So a solution was to try and figure out another option that we could find.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor Morrissette. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you. 7.10, purchase of new shed for public services.
Do you want to click on some of the pictures that we have there?
Picture of a shed.
All right, which one are you recommending?
Any one at the bottom, you could pull up some of those.
You have any recommendations out of the ones you put us?
Wasn't there a requirement for the door opening?
Right. So what this item is actually is I wanted to show you how rotted the sheds that we have right now.
Oh, we know they're rotten.
And therefore, actually, it's a safety issue for even me allowing staff to go in there to use those. We actually took out all of the ornaments that we had and the storage for the ornaments are actually outside of the shed right now because I told the guys, do not go in there. The floor is rotted. Some of the beams and some of the columns on those sheds are all completely rotted. If you click on some of the other ones, you can see it. These are around the windows.
Yeah, that's finished all
The
right.
doorway, if you look at the doorway, it's a safety, but also a hazard for our employees using that. We are requesting, actually staff looked at, that is why you have an addition to the one that you got here.
So that's a steel strut.
This is all steel, and hopefully we would not have this issue that we are having now.
And this galvanized steel.
And this, exactly.
Okay.
And this is the reason why I'm actually bringing this up, because
Yeah, that's dry rot. Okay.
it is. It's termites infested, and it's as I said, I can't emphasize enough, how it is a safety problem.
Yeah, that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
They've cut the power to that building.
So that is why I'm recommending, and the Christmas ornaments that we have this year's contract, the town is going to be owning all of that, because this is the last year that they're going to take it to store. So at the completion of the holiday season this year, we are actually going to be owning all the equipment and lighting along Hollandale Beach Boulevard. So we need a place to store it.
That's not even termite, well.
It's bad.
Dry rot.
It's dry rotted, it's wet, when you see it, actually, I'm inviting anybody to go out and take
Oh,
a
no,
look at
thank
it.
you. No, thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, so you're
Need a motion for a
yeah.
new?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the motion is for, which amount. That's what I'm-
I actually, not to
for.
exceed 15,000 would be fine.
Okay, for how many? One?
It's one,
Okay.
just one.
Motion for 50.
I make a motion to approve purchase of a new shed, not to exceed $15,000.
Is there a
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
7-Eleven sanitary sewer emergency repairs.
Actually, this item is before you today because of, we had some issues with the sanitary sewer system beginning just before the holiday season. Our master station went down. I actually had to contract to do an emergency call out to two of the contractors who do pump outs, A to Z Plumbing, and the other company was Express Drains. We also had to actually rent a bypass pump to keep that system running. I had guys working round the clock from Thanksgiving Thursday until Tuesday of last week, trying to get the system back up and running. I believe Commissioner Eric went out there and he looked at it. He called me when he was there one day, and Bill also talked to me about it when he saw the trucks out there. So over the holiday season, most of my water and sewer guys were working, trying to rectify it. The bill is actually over my limit, which is $10,200, and it's an emergency contract to A to Z Plumbing, who assisted us in the pump out, and that's why I'm bringing it before you for approval.
Okay.
There's no discussion.
So I got questions. How much money are we spending on Park Road in repairs? Because it seems like all we're doing is repair after repair after repair, not just with the lift station, with the sewer line over there as well.
When you say how much money, do you want an account of Park Road?
I'm just wondering, we just keep dumping a ton of money, and we have around $6 million sitting in our sewer fund to fix the problem instead of keep putting Band-Aids on it and having these emergency repairs over and over again. Hodgkins, how many repairs did we have just in the last year?
Three that I know
3 or
of.
4, right?
3 that I know of, yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about getting a shredder, a monster, as you call it.
A Moffett Monster.
A Moffett monster that can shred the debris that comes into the pump station, because that's what kills it. People are throwing things into the toilets that does not belong there.
Well, that
That's the
takes care
problem.
of the lift station. We also have the line that just keeps collapsing all the way along Park Road. You guys live on Park Road. You know how it is.
Yes.
I drive it every day. Park Road is a disaster. We've been collecting tax funds that aren't being used. We have $6 million sitting in that account for, I believe it's 6 for each. I'd have to ask the finance director, but there's an abundance of funds that we've been collecting by taxpayers to make these repairs and get the, not just repairs, but fix the problem. I mean, we keep putting Band-Aid on it over.
I believe we have a master plan.
Aleem, how
Yeah.
far away are we from?
The
Well,
master plan is.
I'm going to address the commissioner's question. Presently, the town started the sanitary sewer master plan. The master plan was supposed to prioritize and list all the priority projects. Park Road was, I believe, the second or third project. The number one project is Northeast 30th Street. That force main that has over 10 breaks. Before I got here, they were like, since I got here, we have actually took care of 4 of them. I had a meeting with the consultant the last Monday, the day after, over the Thanksgiving holiday, to expedite the permit and to get me the design so I could get that job started. They promised me to get that by the end of January next year. As soon as I get that set of approved drawings, it will go out to bid, and I will start constructing that 6-inch force main. The second project would be the master lift station, which is on Park Road, which is a major priority. You have 7 lift stations on the east side of Hollandale that presently pump to that lift station that went down. That is the one that I'm talking about. That's the one that we have spent over, I pulled it up from January of this year, we spent over $90,000. As part of my report, you're going to see I'm recommending that we purchase a Vector truck. Just in Vector, vacuuming out our sanitary system and all the breaks and everything that we have had in this town from January to presently, we have spent over $95,000.
Wait. We spent 95,000 on the truck rental or 95,000 in repairs?
Just the truck rentals.
This is a truck rental. We
That's
spent
correct.
95,000.
That's right.
That's why it's recommended.
How much is a new truck?
A brand that's
$500,000.
a brand new truck is going to cost us anywhere from $500,000 to $560,000.
Wouldn't it be easier once we fix the problems? We'll be just renting a truck when need be. I mean, that's another piece of equipment that's going to be sitting
It's-
around as soon as the areas are fixed.
It's a piece of equipment that you can use to clean all your lift stations. You have 31 lift stations. Apart from vacuuming out, it actually cleans your lift stations as well. So it serves two purposes. It vacuums your lines, it jets your lines. It's a Vector and a jetter truck. That's why it's so expensive.
So it was about a year and a half ago, we found that the stormwater and sewer master plans were 25 years non-compliant. We started that process well over a year ago. It's been so long, and I've been asking where that's at over and over again from the former
That is not
public
correct, sir.
manager.
Can I answer your question?
Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm asking.
When I started here in May of this year, it was approved for a sanitary sewer master plan to be done. It was approved by Craig A. Smith. It was approved for Northeast 30th Avenue Force Main to be done. It was approved for Northeast Sanitary Sewer Lift Station 17, 14, and 13 to be done by Craig Smith. These were all approved by commission and no POs were issued. The POs that were issued is when I started the process here. I gave you guys a quarterly report 2 months ago.
I'm talking about the master plan, not the actual.
The master plan, I'm talking about that as well. I will bring the dates they were signed and when the work that is going to be completed is going to be done next year by Craig A. Smith.
Okay, so when is the master plan going to be done?
Which one? There's a stormwater.
Sewer, both of them.
Yes.
We've been waiting for over a year for those.
Yes, both your stormwater master plan and your sanitary master plan is scheduled to be completed next year.
In January?
No, it's going to be done mid next year.
So 2 years to get the master plans done?
Those are the timelines that you have on your schedule that was signed.
Well, in the long run, it's cheaper to maintain than to repair.
I'm giving them every piece of technical information that is required to run the sanitary models, to run the models on the lift stations and on the stormwater lift stations. It's a lot of data gathering that they did not receive. I've collected all the information and sent it to the consultants, and they are presently running the models so they could prioritize all these projects. Your lift station, your force mains, and also your stormwater system. They are all being done concurrently.
That should have all been done already, though.
They're not.
That's COVID, backlog.
I'm actually scheduled the next quarterly report in January for all your consultants to come and give an update. I had that meeting today with them.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yes.
Agreed, it's frustrating. We need to make a motion to approve 7.11.
Yeah.
How much are we talking about?
It was $11,200.
Not, well,
Huh?
financial impact is 11,737 and 50 cents.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Nope,
Okay.
needs to be done.
Aline, you're doing a appreciate your hard work in trying to get this.
Yeah, and say thank you to the guys that were
Yeah,
working.
it's actually the
incredibly
guys.
hard. Thank you.
Some of the guys actually missed Thanksgiving because of they had to be out there, and I think it's the staff out there we have to
Yeah, we need to
commend the
find
staff for
some,
what they're doing.
One yell at a time.
I'll leave that pump at Bamboo Lakes that was down and now it's up. It's okay now. They came and
Yes.
fixed it.
It's up and running. Actually, the guys had it running today.
Okay.
The only concern that I have with that is that we constantly have to fill it with
Oil.
with diesel and
You don't
well,
have a tank there.
MWI is is doing the maintenance every month, but we actually have to service it with
That's part of their contract, right? We get the 2 year.
with the two. That's correct. Yes, but we have to keep on the diesel, which is, with the inclement weather and any emergencies, we always have staff actually checking it and keep refilling it right now.
Could we legally put a tank there?
I'm seeing what options we have and.
Extra water there.
Right, it's just
Be difficult.
because of any spillage and all of that might be an environmental concern,
Right.
and so I'm looking at different options right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we should replace it to electric.
But that's an option too we have, because when I bring the generator back for this
The
bill,
generator back up.
yeah, so then we could look at gas or electric, so.
Well, like I said, again, I think you,
Is there a gas line over there?
I have to check, I think there's one on Park.
there's one
On
on
Linear
Howard.
Park?
Park Road, yeah. There's one in front
Park
of this
Road.
building, and there's also one running along Park Road.
Yeah, I think.
Runs
that's-
up and down
Up,
Hollandale as well.
up and down, exactly, yes.
Yeah, because they're more quiet, those kind of pumps
Right.
that runs on.
So we have options, if we could run it with natural gas, I think that's a good option. But the problem is that when you look at if you go down during a hurricane or during emergencies, what happens is everything would be down. And if you have tree roots,
This isn't down.
well,
That's
if the
the-
lines come up with trees, then you potentially has a problem. That's some of the things that we have to look at.
Yeah. We switched over to gas for everything, solar, for this generators and everything, because the gas lines are always still fine. All right, if there's any support, any letters of support you need from this commission, because I know that you guys are applying for grants as well to try to redo the entire system in the city. Most of us are available to sign those, letters of support for that.
Actually, yes, we did actually submitted through our grant with D. Copper and also Connie, over $16 million in grants to rehab most of the sanitary sewer system. We are just waiting presently, hopefully next year, if some of that or most of it is approved, then we will have enough funding to take care of a lot of the
Want to explain to
repairs.
the commission that basically if you use the $6 million reserve, you won't have anything for an emergency, and then we'd be
Correct.
screwed, which is why we're applying for grants. And it would be very beneficial to us to have the commission's support instead of letters going up saying, don't give the town money.
Well, yeah, one of the things that with our sanitary sewer, it's called an enterprise fund. With your enterprise fund, you could actually leverage it for SRF funding, state revolving fund, right? Your state revolving fund is levied against that if you borrow. You can borrow a lot more to do a lot more work. Depending on how much is borrowed, some of it is might be able to be is forgiven a certain percentage. So in borrowing or against our enterprise fund, it gives you a bigger bang or more leverage to do more on your sanitary system. Similarly, with stormwater, you can do the same thing. I've done it in the past where we borrowed over $30 million, and you leverage it against what your enterprise fund has. So it gives you a lot more money, so you could do, a lot more work than with what you have.
Understood.
I just want to be clear, the stormwater sewer funds that are collected are tax dollars collected by the public for repairs of the infrastructure here in the town. Those aren't our reserves for the town. Those are for repairs to be done. And we shouldn't be waiting for grants and handouts to fix problems here in town when that's the money that we've gone to the taxpayers. They put into that interest-bearing account to use those funds for repairs for the town. We shouldn't be sitting on it when we're wasting money repairing 90-some thousand for a pump truck in a year, repair after repair on a road when we have the funds to fix it. Those are tax dollars that need to be used for the purpose it was collected.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't want to empty the fund either. And there's a lot of maintenance that did not occur for the past couple of years. That is why the system is in such disrepair right now. So had there been consistent maintenance, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in.
And those repairs go back well over 20 years.
And it seems to have really fallen through the cracks in the last 3. So with that being said, we would be very appreciative if the entire commission could support the initiatives of the town manager, public works director in applying for these grants and sending letters of support, and not sending letters saying, don't give the town grant money to fix these projects because the town mismanaged money.
Do you have any copies of those letters you can provide?
Certainly.
All right. Look forward to it.
Moving on.
Is there a motion?
Is there a motion to?
There was a
approve?
motion. We're waiting on a vote, so roll call.
Okay, I would really appreciate if you guys could tell me what the vote was, because I went to get some hot tea. So I do apologize for stepping out, but please, if you could
Commission.
No one voted yet.
Vice. Okay. I'm going to clarify for the record as the chair. Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. So Vice Mayor made the motion for $11,737.50 for the repair for A and Z.
A to Z statewide plumbing.
Statewide
Yeah.
plumbing.
I think, and you seconded.
And I second.
Okay,
Commissioner Hodgkin seconded.
so roll call.
So, yeah, we're ready for the roll.
Okay, motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you-
8.1 Travel Policy Ordinance.
Oh, wait. Can we go back, please, to the presentation,
Oh, sorry.
which is 5.1?
Yeah, and
Sorry.
let's not forget 5.1.
Sorry. 5.1 ambulance
Chief
purchase.
Kane is sitting here waiting.
Okay. I'm keeping him around just because.
Can we go to 5.1?
No, I just called it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, please.
Good evening, Battalion Chief Michael Kane, Broward Sheriff's Office, Fire Rescue. So you wanted me to start, Vice Mayor?
Yeah, this is regarding the ambulance purchase that we discussed earlier, and since there is 2-year lead time on those, that we have to start the process.
Correct. So the current rescue ambulance that was purchased by the town is nearing 8 years in age.
It's been that
Got
long?
100 and some odd thousand miles on it, which is not a lot of miles. However, these trucks run incessantly. They idle for a very long time. And our concern is that because it's going to take 2 years, if we order a vehicle now, before we physically have it and place it in service, we're at the point now where we want to start the process of attaining that vehicle. Generally speaking, we like to replace vehicles every 7 to 10 years. So it's going to hit the 10-year mark before we receive the next rescue ambulance.
And you're recommending the purchase over a lease? Because I know the last one we did was a lease. We did a lease and West Park did a purchase.
That's entirely up to you guys, the commission. We don't really care how it's
Financed.
worked, to be honest with you.
Okay, can somebody
The
run
fact
a
is, we just need one.
Okay. Can somebody run the numbers and tell us what the costs are
Right,
between
so
the
the
two?
bottom line, as of today, the bottom line is 550,000 and some change, 550,700 and change.
For the purchase? What's the purchase, what's the price for the
And
lease?
and that's, sorry, Madam Mayor, that's off the Florida shares bid. So
No, it's okay. I don't know. I don't know how much it is to lease. Quite frankly, all the vehicles that we currently have are purchases. I don't believe we
No,
have
ours
any
was a
leases
lease.
right now.
Our fire truck was a lease when we did it.
Yeah, I'm not aware. That was done before I
Before you-
came in. Yeah, that was before me, so I'm not aware of
Yeah.
that. I wasn't involved in that at all.
Well, let's do what's most economically sound, and then maybe there's a grant out there somewhere.
We can look.
We can
I know,
look.
I know we did a lease for it and West Park did a purchase. And since they're end of life at 10 years. So I want to see what the cost difference would be. So if somebody could run those numbers and get it.
yeah, we can do that. But one of the things that the chief mentioned is that when I looked into this, is actually the the lead time is anywhere from 18 months to 18 to 36 months. It depends
Should I not
on
advise you to call them tomorrow?
the chassis, how you outfit the vehicle, whether it's a Freightliner, so there's a lot of bells and whistles
Yeah.
that you could put in this truck. So, and it all depends on the type of equipment, the chassis type, the brand, and what other pieces you're putting in there. It starts from 378,000 all the way up to 560,000. And you can see, I think you could see some of the cost breakdown on our backup that we provided. So I don't know, Chief, if I'm helping you out here.
Well, I mean, what I'd like to say is we pretty much have a standardization now of all our vehicles, and we prefer to keep it that way. And we have a joint occupation safety and health committee, a JOSH committee,
Right.
that develops this. I'm sorry.
They gave up on you.
Yeah. That develops the standardization of the vehicles. And standardization is very, very important.
Well, I know last time, I believe it was Chief Kronheim, or what was the guy who worked at Baptist? One of the two of them was the one that brought us the lease before. So if you guys could work on that and get it back to us as soon as possible, we can give you a vote.
The important,
That's not working.
important thing
Yeah.
is to start the process.
Yeah, if you start the process, we can bring it back for the commission at the next meeting.
Yeah, we could give you the options. I know the purchase
Options
price,
with
as
the
the
price.
Chief said, is around 550,
Yeah.
starting at 378, and then 550 with everything that you outfit the vehicle with.
Yeah.
But the lease option, we could get numbers for you and come back.
Marlon, can you look at it when we did it like 8 years ago as well? Because I know we had the paperwork before, because like I said, we did do the lease.
Okay.
I mean, I can tell you that the prices are going to be drastically different from
Yeah.
8 years ago.
No, I know, but at least we can call them and say, hey, can I get the new numbers for the same vehicle?
Do that.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. 8.1 travel policy ordinance.
Mayor?
Yes, please.
For the record, the item is an ordinance of the town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 2 entitled Administration by creating Article 12 of the town's Code of Ordinances entitled Travel Reimbursement Policies and Procedures, providing for codification, providing for conflict, severability, providing for an effective date. This is a second reading, Mayor, and a public hearing.
Okay, is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this matter? Nope, I close the public hearing and bring it back before the commission. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, motion to approve ordinance number 2023-014.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Motion made by motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
8.2 Parks and Recs Advisory Board.
Thank you, Mayor. For the record, ordinance 2023-015 is an ordinance of the town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 18 of the town's Code of Ordinances entitled Parks and Recreation, specifically creating Article 3 to be entitled Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, providing for the establishment of a Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, providing for composition, providing for meetings, providing for definitions, providing for duties, providing for codification, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. And again, Mayor, it's a second reading and a public hearing.
Okay. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this matter? Not, I close the public meeting. Bring it back before the commission. Is there any discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2023-015.
Is there a second?
Mr. Hodgkins. You're not seconding?
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Commissioner Hodgkins. Seconded by Commissioner Jacobs. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
8.3 Youth Advisory Board.
Mayor and Commission Ordinance 2023-016, it's an ordinance to the Town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 2 of the town's Code of Ordinances entitled Administration, specifically creating Article 13 to be entitled Youth Affairs Advisory Board, providing for the establishment of a Youth Affairs Advisory Board, providing for composition, providing for meetings, providing for definitions, providing for duties and responsibilities, providing for codification, conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. Again, this is a second reading and a public hearing, Mayor.
Okay. I open a public hearing. Does anyone from the public wish to speak on this matter? Nope. I close the public hearing, bring it back before the commission.
Motion to approve ordinance number 2023-016.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
My comments previously made on this topic stand.
Okay. Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay.
10.1.
10.1. 10.1, food truck vendor ordinance.
Mayor, may I have one moment to speak with Commissioner Jacobs prior to this item?
Go ahead. We'll take a 5-minute recess.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. All right. Yep. All right.
Back on.
Meeting resumed at 8:17. 10.1 Food Truck Vendor Ordinance.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner, for the record, ordinance 2023-018, an ordinance of the town of Pembroke Park, amending the town's code of ordinances by amending chapter 15 entitled Licenses and Business Regulations, creating Article 4 to be entitled Mobile Food Dispensing Vehicles, providing for the regulation of mobile food vendors as permitted by section 509102 of the Florida statutes, providing for codification, providing for conflicts, severability, and providing for an effective date.
I open public comments. Does anyone from the public wish to speak on this matter? I'll close the public comments, bring it back before the commission. Is there any discussion?
I have a question. This ordinance similar to our neighboring cities?
But Vice Mayor, the answer is we have not reviewed all of your neighboring cities' ordinances.
Of course, but some of them.
Yeah, we have looked at several of them. We've also drafted several for other municipalities in Broward County. It is consistent with those regulations. One observation is there's quite a bit of regulations as it relates to food trucks that is preempted to state law. There's certain things we simply cannot regulate, permits, licensing, a lot of things that are all preempted to the state. There is some limited regulation that's available to local government, and many of those opportunities are included in this draft. Again, we didn't want to recreate the wheel, so we pulled some other ordinances from some surrounding municipalities and tried to incorporate what might work well for Pembroke Park.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, is there any further discussion?
Yes. All my previous comments stand as stated. Being the only licensed mobile food truck vendor in the town, this is ridiculous ordinance. You got liquor stores open 23 hours a day, bars open 23 hours a day, but there's things in here restricting food trucks from dawn till dusk. This is a very restrictive ordinance that says the town of Pembroke Park does not want food truck vendors within the town. Small business owners or entrepreneurs. This turns business away. I will be abstaining from the vote due to conflict of interest.
And just for the record to the commissioner, there is a Form 8B, which we will send you a copy of tomorrow, that gets filed with the city clerk as a result of the abstention.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance number 2023-018.
Is there a second?
Mr. Hodgkins?
Second.
Any more discussion?
Nope.
Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs is abstaining from the vote. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Second reading will be when? When's our next meeting?
January
10th?
10th.
Okay. Second reading, January 10th at 7:00 p.m. 10.2, Small Disadvantaged Business Enterprise.
Mayor and Commission, ordinance 2023-019 is an ordinance of the town of Pembroke Park, Florida, amending Chapter 2 entitled Administration, Article 5, Procurement, by creating Section 2-138 of the town's code of ordinances entitled Local Business Preference, providing for codification, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. And Mayor, for the record, as you requested, this is predicated on the Broward County model that the commission had previously requested.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I open it to the public. Are there any comments? Nope. Thank you. Close the public comments, bring it back before the commission. There a motion?
This ordinance doesn't create a situation where we're saying that we're only going to use a town.
No, I mean, in essence, and it's not to oversimplify the issue, but what it does is it provides a credit or a point system for local businesses, both town businesses and county businesses. So during a competitive procurement process, if a prospective vendor were to submit a proposal and that vendor was a business located in the town of Pembroke Park,
They would get
or
an advantage.
they would get a credit, or a minority-owned business, there's a minority component to this as well, they would also get a credit. So it's, again, based on the county model, which is a very similar ordinance when it comes to the procurement process.
Okay.
Good, thank you.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
Has anyone read through the ordinance? Read all the details on the ordinance here?
I did read all the details.
Okay, this ordinance is exclusionary of one one category of people. If you go through and read, it lists absolutely everything. It excludes white males. This
Really?
it excludes. That's the only thing left out of this. It includes every single other category you can come up with except for white males. I think this is continues to discourage small disadvantaged businesses because there are white people, white males who own small disadvantaged businesses as well. But it would be easier if they just wrote it, took all the nonsense that said no white males in this ordinance. Because if you read through the whole thing, it lists every category except for that. So
Well, I also noticed that in one of the latest polls that the whites are basically a minority in this country.
That still need
We should be
protection.
considered as the minority in Florida, I meant.
I'm just saying it's exclusionary. And I can't support something that's exclusionary and not all-inclusive.
Basically, this ordinance gives points to small businesses to help them be able to competitively bid for projects that they would normally not be able to win bids on. And it gives a percentage of the business to those, it gives a percentage of the actual businesses that we are trying to utilize. It gives a small percentage of them the opportunity to have extra benefits of being able to bid. So basically, instead of having a contractor do 110% and keep all of the money, it gives the small businesses in our community the ability to get a percentage of that business. So I think it's beneficial to help our small businesses in our city if you go through the process of getting registered with the county, Broward County Certified Small Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, and it does not give them the whole contract, it gives a percentage of the contracts. So if you guys want it, yay. If you don't, vote it down.
So this is similar to Broward County.
Yeah, this is
Just as a
modeled-
reminder, yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, it is not identical because
Right.
obviously it references Pembroke Park and not Broward County, but it is
Correct.
predicated upon the Broward County ordinance.
so it's sort of tailored, from the.
Yeah, so just as an example, if the city issues a competitive sealed bid and you get multiple bids and one of those vendors is a Pembroke Park business,
Okay.
they're given a 15% evaluation credit. So that means that if they are not the low bid and their bid is within 15% of the lowest price, they can submit what's referred to as a best and final offer, which if it comes in within 1% of the low bid, they get some opportunity to get the business from the town. So it provides a credit system. There's a methodology in the ordinance to encourage local businesses and, again, certified small disadvantaged businesses, which is a defined term to include minority-owned businesses, an opportunity to do business with the town or a better opportunity to do business with the town.
Understood.
It still sounds a little segregatory to me for some reason.
Again, they're not uncommon. It's strictly a policy decision of the commission. There's certainly no obligation, any way, shape, or form, to consider or adopt the ordinance. It is entirely within your purview. It's not uncommon to have a preference for veterans. Oftentimes, you'll see veterans' preferences, local business preferences, minority-owned business preferences. It's simply a procurement tool. There is no legal obligation at all. This is purely a policy decision.
I see. All right, thank you.
Yeah. It's basically to keep our small businesses in business
Yeah.
that are here. It's to basically to say, hey, look, we're going to give you a portion of. We have a lot of contracts that are coming through, and it would be nice to kind of give them to people who are local instead of big companies who are not, who are taking our money out of our city.
If it need adjustment in the future, we're willing to look at that. I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 2023-019.
There a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? Roll call.
I'm sorry, did you open and close for public comment? Okay, thank you. Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Commissioner Jacobs.
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
Okay. 11.1 was pulled. 11.2, communications agreement.
Mayor Commission, this is your crisis communications firm. Your former town manager entered into an agreement back in August with this firm to provide some communications assistance. There was some compensation limits under the manager's spending authority. The contract had essentially expired in the context of its cost. The item before you provides an additional $15,000, which would bring the total cost of the relationship with this particular vendor to $25,000. Our recommendation to your staff was to go through a procurement process as part of securing a communications vendor. There are a number of quotes that were included within the backup that your professional staff went out and received. Under your code, you're required to competitively bid all contracts over $25,000. This is a contract that needs to be bid out. An RFP or an RFQ needs to be issued for this service. There was some interest in ensuring the city did not lose coverage in the context of PR and consulting services relating to communications. That is why what's before you is a limited $15,000 extension, which is consistent with your procurement code. That will bring the total value to $25,000. Anything over $25,000 under your code needs to be bid. So this is essentially a stopgap. It is my understanding the town intends to go out to bid for these services at the appropriate time. This extension will keep your current consulting firm under contract with the town, again, for an additional period of time while that process takes place.
Any questions?
No, I have no questions to this. How much?
Mayor, is your phone, is your mic on?
I'm sorry, I did turn it off. I'll entertain a motion to extend the contract not to exceed more than 15,000, and authorizing the town to go out to bid.
Yeah, a motion to authorize the town to extend the what's it called? Public Communication Group.
Public Communicators Group, that's correct.
Yeah, LLC, not to exceed $15,000. Yeah, and go out to bid.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
11.3, Schatz and Bowens, investigation attorney's fees. So this one is, we've hit the $20,000.
Yeah, we had 3 invoices from Shots and Bowings, which presently, which the contract was signed to do an investigation. There's 3 invoices, $10,320. Then there's another one for $17,000, and that will put it over the limit. The limit for any investigation, anything over $20,000, had to be brought back to this commission. Actually, this was entered to the prior manager, and it's only when I got the invoice, it actually puts it over the limit. So that's why it's before you today.
Attorney, how do you want us to handle this? Do you just want us to approve the additional amount, or what was?
Well, as you know, the acting manager indicated, your investigation policy requires commission approval for all investigations that exceed 20,000. So I'd encourage you to improve all of the invoices in the backup.
But I know that's not finished yet. So.
Well, and I was going to offer perhaps an additional cap that the commission is comfortable approving, which would give your manager some leeway to work with the investigating attorney. And to the extent they hit another benchmark as part of this process, it would come back before this commission for additional review.
Okay. Questions?
Discussion?
Okay. What's the discussion?
This is the first time tonight I am hearing of this. I came out as a whistleblower a while ago on the dais in the public. I've stated it over and over again. I believe this is continued harassment on behalf of the town, and this is ridiculous that this much money is being spent. Last time you guys spent on an attorney was $19,000. This one looks like it's $25,000, and we're adding more to it.
Okay.
My attorney and myself have not even been made aware of this to date.
Okay. Well, this was basically an investigation that was filed by staff members. And because you put that policy in place that said that if there's an investigation filed against the commissioner, that they would use outside counsel. So this is for the outside counsel for the investigation. And we're basically just following the procedures and protocols that you put into place. So,
And I'm just saying this is continued harassment on behalf of the town of Pembroke Park.
you can say whatever you like to say, sir. We're going to go ahead and follow the rules that you put into place, which was the fact that you put an ordinance into place that said that there would be an investigation by outside counsel. This is outside counsel, and we're following the rules that the town has in place. So without any further discussion, we're going to go ahead and entertain a motion to approve the invoices and set an amount not to exceed before it has to come back before the commission.
Aleem, I tried to reach out to these people to see where they're at and how come it's taking so long. And have you heard anything from them?
No, I haven't. I actually will try to reach out. I got the invoice. That's why it's on the agenda. And
Well,
that's where I'm at.
They can send some results instead of invoices.
I will, exactly. The only reason why it's before you is it actually went to the prior city town manager's email, and apparently when they didn't get any, it was kicked back, and then it came to me. They called the finance department, and then it came to me, so that's why it's
here.
I put it back on the agenda. Because in reviewing all the invoices, it showed that it goes beyond the $20,000, and they,
We will also reach out to Mr. Callaway and confirm the status of his review.
correct.
Thank you.
Well, a motion to approve the current invoices, total $25,825.
A second.
Any further discussion on that? Roll call.
Motion to go ahead and approve the invoices for $25,825 made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
I will be abstaining from this vote.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay. And then you need an amount not to exceed what? What?
I'm going to offer another 15, and we will speak with Mr. Callaway tomorrow and try to get a better update, but at least for the time being, perhaps that'd be appropriate.
Okay. Entertain a motion for up to $15,000 to continue.
Can't hear you.
He's gonna say.
What do you want to do?
Motion to
Increase the amount
Yeah.
not to exceed?
not to exceed $15,000.
I'll make a motion to increase the amount for Shoots and Bowen's investigation not to exceed $15,000.
I second.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins, seconded by Vice Mayor Morrissette. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Abstaining.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-0.
And again, we will send Commissioner Jacobs the Form 8B, which is filed with the clerk following an abstention.
11.4, one-stop film permitting interlocal agreement. This is an interlocal agreement with Broward County Film Commission. It's for 1 year with the additional renewals after that. Is there any questions? No. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the recommendation of the agreement.
I'll second.
Approve the agreement, sorry.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Nope, roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
11.5, updating fire alarm system in Town Hall.
Yeah, this item is actually before you because of, again, as I referenced earlier in the meeting, I sent a letter to the Broward County Fire Marshal to extend, to give us at least a 6 months leeway or grace period in order for us to bring this building up to code, the fire alarm system, to the present code and standards. Presently, we have City Fire that is on contract with the town. They actually are working in that area for the police to build out as well, for the consultant, for the contractor. And they were contracted with the town prior to me even being here. They were here 3 years ago as well. They came in, so they are fully aware of the system in place, and they are fully aware what is required to bring the building up to code. We got a quote from them. It's $14,997 to do all the additional strobes and on the first floor as well, in order for the police build out to be completed, or to give
What was the amount?
the fire $14,997.
And 8 cents.
Yes.
So I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, motion to approve the request for updating the fire alarm system in Town Hall. And the quote is $14,997 and 8 cents.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette?
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed?
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
11.6, there's the National U.S. Conference of Mayors Conference coming up in Washington, D.C., January 17th through the 19th. And then there's the National League of Cities Annual Conference in Tampa from November 14th through the 16th. I guess I don't know. How much do we spend for this one? $2,500? I don't know. I'm asking.
That's not going to do with Washington. Oh, it's only you. You're not going.
I don't know if anybody want to go, but I ain't going. All right, so what do you think? 3,500? I don't know.
2,500.
It's Washington.
2,500. Been under that every time.
It's not. Did you have the? Do you have the spreadsheet with the travel for the conference?
I do.
But it's upstairs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright.
okay.
I can bring it the next time.
All right. Well, it's not even necessary because I won't be going. Is anybody going?
I am not planning.
I'm not planning either. So.
But the 100-year,
Yeah, I wanna
that
make
I
sure.
am planning to go.
Yeah, and I want to make sure we get into the host hotel and get the reservations from now. So
Yeah, it's,
that's in Tampa,
It's November of 24.
November 14th through the 16th. Yes. So I'll entertain a motion for the annual National League of Cities City Summit in Tampa for November 14th through the 16th, an amount not to exceed $2,500 per person.
I'll make a motion to approve a maximum $2,500 for the National League of Cities City Summit in Tampa Bay, November 14th to 16th. Not to exceed 2,500, right?
Yeah.
Not to exceed 2,500.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by. Oh, sorry. Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Vice Mayor Morrissette,
Yes.
Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
Jacobs with the S. Yes.
Goodness.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. You know what, you gotta put the, NLC, I'm not sure, I mean, FLC for August. I don't know if it's here or in Orlando. So for the next meeting, put the conference that's in August,
Which one's that one?
Florida League of Cities.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's always either like at the Diplomat or it's somewhere in Orlando.
Okay.
That way everybody's in the host hotel for those that are going. Okay. 13.1, we've already had that discussion. Are you guys in a agreement with putting the life rings around the water areas? If so, we'll reach out to the lady and see.
If it
for
can
all
save
the
just one life, I'm for it.
Okay. So do you need a motion for that, for us to put the life rings around?
Just consensus direction to your staff.
Okay, all right, so staff, you have direction to put life rings around all the lakes around the city. Letter to JLAC, we need approval for the, letter to JAG.
Correct.
JAG, sorry. So basically, there was a grant that the town was awarded. We have to send a rescission letter so that we can be eligible for additional grants. So we just need to basically approve it because it was done via commission approval to apply for the grant. Are there any questions? It's just a
When
quick-
have we been without a police chief?
Beg your pardon?
Since October 1st, 2022, it says right here, the town of Pembroke Park was without a police chief and unable to fulfill the purchase process within the awards designated timeframe. My question is, when have we been without a police chief?
Where do you see
I don't
that?
think we have.
You guys fired the previous police chief on the 10th and then appointed 2 police chiefs on the night of the 10th.
Where are you reading that at?
In the letter itself. Dear Ms. Kramer, pursuant to your email request, I am providing you with the required statement requested recession of the JAG Award Grant 3B175 for the amount of $102,772. At the time of notification of the award, the town of Pembroke Park was without a police chief and unable to fulfill the purchasing process with the awards designated timeframe.
Okay.
We have not been without a police chief.
There was no direction at that time when the award was, when JAG had contacted the town.
So when did we get this award? When were we awarded this grant?
The award was last year. You guys were awarded this. It was just never sent in to, the paperwork, the proper paperwork and receipts were not sent in to JAG. So unfortunately, we lost the grant. So this is just a cleanup item because of the fact that this was awarded last year and the paperwork was never submitted to JAG. And so now they are looking at us in order for us to apply for additional grant money.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If you're going to write a letter, have some integrity with it, because if it continues on here, it says, this is very disappointing. Our fiscal needs remain vital to the survival of the police department. We've secured a full-time police chief who is adapting and managing the backlog of administrative tasks. Please look to more effective use of the
Effusive response.
response from the police chief and the town of Pembroke Park in the future. I assure you the town of Pembroke Park will remain good stewards of our current grants and look forward to future fiscal opportunities administered by Florida Department of Law Enforcement. It's got your name on it. You send it the way you want, but it says we were without a police chief, and the town of Pembroke Park has not been without a police chief since we opened October 1st, 2022.
Okay, so would you like to revise the letter? I mean, this was already sent in because of the fact that we had to get something to them in order for us to be able to deal with the next grant cycle.
Again, it's
Okay,
not on me. It's on you. You're the one who has the name on it. You're the one who wrote it. So I'm just saying it's not forthright in what it's saying.
okay. Okay, so,
So we have to vote to approve it?
yes, we do.
Okay.
So I entertain a motion to basically correct or to adopt the letter that was sent over to the J for the award that we lost.
Yeah, Mayor, yeah, well, if I may,
It was already sent.
yeah, this really is a ratification because the item, there was a timing issue with regards to sending this letter and not putting future grant opportunities at risk. So the mayor sent a letter to ensure that the town did not lose any potential future grant possibilities. But this is simply bringing it to the commission to notify and seek your ratification just to preserve that right moving forward. There's no further action that needs to occur. The mayor's already preserved the town's rights moving forward. This is simply ratification of that action.
Okay. So we really don't need a vote on this.
Well, a motion would be in order, just to ratify. It's a motion to ratify the mayor's prior action.
To ratify the letter to D. Jack regarding the recession. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and the reason, Vice Mayor, is in the future, if anybody were to question the rescission of this grant, we would just want to ensure that there's a record of this commission approving the rescission, just to ensure that we're not negatively impacting any future opportunities.
Understood.
I'll second the rescission letter.
Is there any further discussion? Roll call.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Morrissette, seconded by Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins. Mayor Mohammed,
Yes.
Commissioner Jacobs,
No.
Clerk Commissioner Hodgkins,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Morrissette.
Yes.
Motion passes 3-1.
13. I'm sorry.
13-3.
13.3 noise ordinance enforcement. So we have a whole bunch here with this one. Basically, we need to update, enhance our noise ordinance to allow for the police to be able to enforce it. You currently have a petition that was signed by all of the residents of Park Lake Estates. We've received numerous complaints regarding the Kelsey Bar on Hollandale Beach Boulevard, and our police department has gone out there numerous times to deal with the noise complaints. However, the police department doesn't have the ability to issue tickets, and so we need to basically authorize the town to purchase these sound level meters.
Decibel readers.
I thought it was a decibel meter, but that's a sound level meter.
You can get them as apps for your phone.
So I'm assuming that the ones in the picture, the Tedetto, are the ones we want to order? Yes? Okay. And also to basically give them a ticket book.
An old-fashioned one?
I have no idea
Duplicates?
what the ticket book means, but we need to be able to give them the ability to do it.
Triple
to deal with it.
duplicates.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead, Chief.
Good evening, Rashana Dabney.
Oh.
It's not.
Just change the battery.
Thank you. I know. Well, Rashana Dabney-Donovan, Chief of Police, Town of Pembroke Park. So we've been working with code to try to figure out how to enforce all of these noise complaints. There have been citizens that, have called me constantly and complain about the noise. Code has it's a ticket form. If I'm saying it right, there's a form that they can actually give a notice of violation. There's nowhere we don't have the same form, and it's not, we don't have the ability to sign it because there's no way for us to complete that, and there's no place that puts police. There's code compliance, but not police. So we want to be able to order those forms for police to be able to enforce the code ordinance.
Just want to make sure I understand correctly. I think there's two issues here. There's the noise ordinance, and Mayor, if I understand correctly, you're looking to review, update, and revise the city's code as it relates to noise regulations. The second issue is what the chief is referring to with regards to the police department issuing administrative citations under Chapter 162, which essentially is an alternate code enforcement process. That would apply not only to noise, but a whole host of violations that we could outline in the code where the PD or your code officers could issue a citation, and that provides essentially an immediate fine. And if a person pays the fine, it's an admission of guilt. They have the opportunity to appeal the fine to the special magistrate. It's an alternate process under Chapter 162. Typically, with code enforcement, the city will provide a courtesy notice with an opportunity to cure the violation. Subsequent to that, there'd be a notice of violation that's issued along with a hearing date. That respondent would then come before the magistrate, and they would have the opportunity to present their case along with the code staff presenting their case, and the magistrate would make a finding as to whether or not a violation occurred. With the administrative citation process, it requires a separate ordinance to embrace that process under state law. Then citation books could be issued. And again, the ordinance would identify specific violations which would not require the notice of violation process. In those specific instances, either PD or code could issue a citation. That citation could include a $100 fine, $250 fine, depending on what the commission and the ordinance embraced. And then it would provide, it's essentially an additional tool in your code enforcement toolbox. Does not have to be used, but it certainly could be used as a resource when it comes to certain types of violations like noise, animals running at large, littering. I mean, there's certain types of violations that are with the commission's direction, if it's the intent of the town, we can look at that as an option. And candidly, I've not reviewed your code as it relates to that citation process. I do not know if you currently have that. I'd be happy to look into that a little bit. We could bring back an ordinance to address the noise issue, which is one issue, and then separately look at the citation process, which is another kind of parallel path to work through.
Okay.
Yeah, and another thing, just to add to that, code enforcement did go there and issued a citation, just basically under the town's code, which is section 3.6, which is your noise ordinance or your noise restriction ordinance. And I could pass it along here. It's case number 9150. That was.
Yeah, we need to empower our officers so that they can enforce our code. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense to have code.
And I mean, we've had issues before because I know you had.
Yeah, we had issues over in our park and
The other reason, if I may, Mayor, another reason why the citation process can become very effective is your code enforcement doesn't work around the clock. Your police officers are always on duty.
That's what
So if they have ticket books, if they have a citation book, they can issue a citation under Chapter 162, which is not criminal in nature. It's a civil infraction, but it also provides a mechanism for enforcement of certain code provisions, which would, again, just provide some additional tools and resources for the town to enforce its code.
Yeah, we need to be, whatever you need to do for enforcing. Do we need anything? We don't need to vote on this.
That would just be direction.
Yes,
I would take that as consensus direction. We'll work with your chief.
What about purchasing the meters for staff?
Well, that's a separate issue. Yeah, I would put that on a future agenda.
Okay.
It can't. It would be used until the ordinance was revised anyway.
Okay, so I think you have your direction. 13.4, implementation of enhanced security measures at Town Hall. Commissioner Jacobs.
Let's go back up. I believe the town of Pembroke Park needs to enhance its security measures here in Town Hall for the public, for the commission, and for staff. I believe we should give direction to the town manager to look into increasing the security measures within the town.
And to what level are we looking at?
I will, Mark, unless
Or-
like to request what sort of measures we have in place presently and what are we working on?
Well, there's no checking of anybody. Anyone could bring anything into town hall. The only thing we have are the doors, which the locks on those doors are easily broken open. Those doors are easily pulled open.
These are brand new doors with new security systems.
All it is a scan card. You can bust through those with no problem.
Mark Pakula, IT Director, Deputy Mayor and Commissioners. We have put in new doors. The mag locks on those could not be ripped off. Probably put a truck on it, you'd rip the hinge off the door before the door would give way. We're finishing up putting the system in place. We also incorporate that with our video cameras and with the police department coming online as we finish building it out. There won't be anywhere in this building to get in without being caught on camera. Some other things we want to put in are some motion sensors on the first floor and second floor that'll tie into our system. And those are some of the measures we have in place today. Like I said, you won't be able to get in this building in any way, shape, or form without getting caught on camera, or even near it at that point.
Or by the police. I feel very safe. We
Not
have
to mention the
police
fact
force
that we
here.
have a police department in the same building.
Yeah, I feel very safe.
Hi, Police Chief Rashana Dabney. I'm here at every single meeting unless I'm out of town or on vacation. And as you can see, I have an extra officer, Sergeant at Arms here to contend with this issue as well.
Well, I'll also say that I know that BSO at one point had come out and they had actually surveyed the building, and I don't know, you remember that, Mark? Yeah, and they gave building recommendations as well.
Yeah, they had recommended some hardening procedures, things we have in place, and part of what we have now is came from some of those recommendations.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't know. Do you have any other questions, Commissioner?
At the state.
Thank you.
Staff meetings update, Commissioner Jacobs.
Let me pull the item up. As if you've read my backup here, I misspoke by calling it a free-for-all Friday. I had former employees reach out. I had current employee reach out and say these were officially known as staff meetings. So I'm just going to read my statement. I must clarify my previous statement where I referred to them as a free-for-all Friday. This was an error on my part. These meetings were organized by the town of Pembroke Park and were officially known as staff meetings. Took place on Fridays. Attendees typically included supervisors, managers, directors, and the IT contractor. Expenses for these meetings were charged to either the former town clerks or the former town managers. Purchase cards evident in their credit card statements. Venues for these staff meetings varied from TGI Fridays to El Tamarindo in Hollandale. Sometimes they were catered in. Being among these locations used, it is important to note that this information was previously provided at the commission, contradicts the facts that you should have taken the time to seek the truth yourself. You were told otherwise, but this is what happened. This is what former employees have come forward and said. And I see it looks like Mr. Levy provided a statement as well. Does someone want to read his statement?
I'll read his statement. This is from the former town manager, Dr. Robert Levy. It says, I have recently learned of an item up for discussion today, Monday, November 27, 2023, at a special commission meeting of the town of Pembroke Park. I would like to state that the allegations made that there was some kind of Friday free-for-all paid for by the town was never the case. We had staff meetings that began at 10 a.m. every Friday. Sometimes those meetings lasted 4 hours or more. When that occurred periodically, we would order in lunch. There were other times sporadically that commissioners attended the meeting. Only one commissioner at a time was allowed in the meetings in order to avoid the sunshine clause. When that commissioner had additional work asking for staff, they would invite staff to lunch. The invitation would happen by order of a commissioner and certainly not by staff. In every case, whatever the expense was, it was approved by the total commission at the following commission meeting. Those were working meetings and not free-for-alls as stated by Commissioner Jacobs. When Commissioner Clark invited department heads to lunch, he would pay out of his own pocket. If Dr. Levy invited a staff member to, I don't understand. If I invited a staff member to join us, I would pay out of my own pocket as well. However, when certain commissioners moved the meeting to a restaurant of their choice, they would ask the city clerk or myself to put it on the town credit card. This was always presented to the town commission for approval at the next official meeting. This was not a regular happening as is implied in your agenda item. It would have happened periodically as noted above. When regular staff meetings ended at 12 or even 1 p.m., everyone went on their own way and paid their own lunch. Sometimes here were special occasions that were paid by the town that included everyone and not just department heads. No free-for-alls ever happened.
Mayor, if I may take a brief comment. When this item was placed on the last commission meeting agenda or workshop agenda, prior to that meeting, I received a call from your former town manager, Mr. Jimenez. He just wanted to express his sentiments as well, very consistent with Dr. Levy's sentiments, that he took issue with the way the item was framed on the agenda and was not aware of anything of the sort as it was stated.
Okay, thank you. I'm also going to state for the record, so during my 17 years on the commission, there was only a period of 2 years during my tenure here that they actually had staff meetings. To my knowledge, that during those staff meetings, there was no food that was purchased by the town. I also did ask for the credit card receipts because I'm not aware of these Friday free-for-alls as it was framed or whatever else it would be called, because there were no staff meetings on Fridays except for 2 years out of my 17 years. I will tell you that I did reach out to the former town clerk, and she told me that in the 90s, there were Friday staff meetings that did occur, and that was in the early 90s. Unfortunately, she was barely coming in, and that was so before my time. I wasn't even in Florida to be able to speak to that. But there is a Sun Sentinel article where the commissioners were actually the ones who were eating the food and were ordering food on the town's expense. And it was a Sun Sentinel article. I think she said the guy's name was Tom Mullen, who wrote the article. And after that article came out, the commissioners stopped eating. It was a breakfast that they used to do where they'd order bacon and eggs. And after that article came out, the town stopped that. And that was back in the 90s, pre-OIG, pre-everything. So that's the only thing that I'm aware of. And as I stated before, for me, there was only 2 years of staff meetings in my 17 years of being here. And I was not aware of the town spending money and buying food. And I can say that in the 90s, El Tamarindo was not even in existence because Commissioner Cohen was the one that introduced El Tamarindo to this commission and to the city. So I'm not familiar with this. I did put in a records request for the credit card statements to see what this is because I'm not aware of it. But the town did, if there was certain events, the town would pay for it, and it was for all staff members, not for 1 or 2 staff members. And those were basically events that they would have. If there was a birthday party, if there was a baby shower that the town was putting together and all staff members were invited to go, then the town would pay for that. So I'm not sure why there's this, I'm not sure what you're referencing. And if you could provide clarification and some credit card receipts and as well, because I don't know what you're referencing, and I was here for 17 years. And you have other staff members who were here as well that did attend staff meetings. And
I've been told that the state requires us to provide food of some sort if a meeting lasts 4 hours. I'm not sure if that's true.
I'm not aware of any provision to that effect.
No, I was just told that.
I'm owed quite a bit of food, Commissioner, if that's the case.
Yeah. No, but that's what I was been told.
Use my own-
I
my
have
own
no
credit
proof
card.
of it.
That's
but,
it.
It seems to be a very reasonable thing.
I don't use the town credit card.
no, I mean, if you're having an event for somebody like a Christmas party, a birthday party, that's a reasonable expense. Any company would do that. But when you sit here and single one person out or 2 people out and go to a restaurant, that's unfair to the other 20 to 30 people that are working in that building. Every job that I've worked at, and I've worked at quite a few, you're required to purchase your own lunch. You're required to get to work on your own. You pay for your own gas to get to work, and you're required to, if you want to eat, you pay for it. You go out yourself, you pay for your food. That's every place I've been to. I will say, with the exception of National Minority Supplier Development Council, when I worked there in New York, when we would work till 11, 12 o'clock at night, they would cater for us, but that was because we would be there from 8 in the morning, and we'd be there till 11, 12 o'clock at night, and they'd also send car service to take us home. But that was their policy. For us, I was always told when I came in that, here, if it was an event, yes, the event had to be open to everyone. That's what Sonia had told me when I first started in 2003. Every now and then you'll have an event. It's a birthday party. They provide food, or if there was a baby shower or, you know, something major like that. Other than that, no, the town did not pay for food, which is why we're looking to put our own policy in place. I'm working with Attorney Horowitz now because I don't know what happened after I left as to why there were so many credit card charges for food, but that wasn't the policy, whether it was written or unwritten, that the town followed for the 17 years I was here.
And again, Mayor, you guys voted on an item today where the credit card policy and the use of the card, all of that is going to be addressed. So I think moving forward, most of these items, unless you're discussing what's in the past, but most of these items moving forward was addressed in that new policy just recently adopted.
Attorney's report.
Attorney's report.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioner. I don't have anything this evening.
Town manager.
Town manager.
Just a few items. The holiday lighting, most of the banners, again, with the inclement weather yesterday and today actually, they were scheduled to complete everything, but I believe most of it is done. I met with the city of Pembroke Pines concerning the further allocation for the sanitary sewer allocation. As explained 2 months ago when the report came out, we had capacity almost there. The town has no additional capacity sanitary sewer allocation. So right now I'm working to see if I could get some additional allocation. What this does is actually prevents any development from taking place. You need to have your infrastructure and your sanitary sewer allocations, water, sewer, and stormwater in order for development to take place. And that's what I'm working on with the city of Pembroke Pines to see if I could get some of their allocation, which is not being used. A meeting with Broward County was yesterday concerning the Trinity Lakefill, and I believe, Commissioner, you could speak a little bit on that. You were there part of that meeting. There's also 2 meetings coming up with Broward County. One is the local mitigation strategy meeting, the quarterly meeting, which is going to be held tomorrow. These are all the projects and the DEM, the emergency management projects that the county is putting forward. And that meeting is going to be tomorrow at 11 o'clock, sorry. I plan to attend that as well. There's an account at Wells Fargo. I believe there's a safety deposit box, and I will need someone. We got the call today, someone to go there because the bank is actually closing, and we need one of the representative. I think it's either Commissioner Jacobs, if he has access to that account, or the
I'm
mayor.
having surgery tomorrow. I got to get my trigger finger working.
Well, we have 2 weeks to decide because we need someone to go there to. There's a safety deposit box at Wells Fargo, and we need it. They called to get it cleared because the bank is closing, and it's in the town's name. So I could get finance to schedule a meeting and let me know how you want to move or what direction you want.
Okay.
Sounds like a job for.
I mentioned already the Senate Bill 102, and
Which was it?
we already started the punch list for the police build-out, and
Wells
that's that's completes my report. Oh, sorry.
That was Wells Fargo, right?
Yes. The roof of the building is completed, and we got a 25 years warranty certificate on the roof. It's here,
Right.
and the permits were closed out as of last week.
Very nice.
I have a couple questions.
As part of my report, David is going to give a JLAC update.
Thank you. Good evening. A lot of work's going on. We're getting close. We've been with the town manager's input as well as staff. We've been sending weekly, because of the holidays. I think I missed a week there during Thanksgiving. But we've been sending weekly updates to JLAG. Number one, thanking them for their patience. Number two, giving them updates as far as where we at in our audit process. Staff, Valerie, Christian, the auditors, Maria, Vanna White, or Julie White, I'm sorry. Everyone's been working together. We're up to over $5 million of entries just in 1 year, which is astronomical, actually. But so the goal is that we're still got our fingers crossed. Everything's been submitted. There's only 1 or 2 items that are still outstanding that we're trying to wrap up. The next process in this is the auditors will give me a draft of the actual CAFR. I will begin to write the management discussion and analysis. The back of the audit will have their list of issues. We will obviously write a comment about each issue and how we're correcting that. Other things that we're doing in to follow that up, we're actually getting ready for our 2023 audit. So we're moving ahead with that. We're trying to be a little bit more efficient. Let me give you an example. Right now, we do 38 payrolls in a year, right? Typically, there are 26. Well, we have 26, pay periods during the year, and then we do a separate payroll for the commission. So I may want to bring back to you the fact that, hey, maybe we can be a little bit more efficient, and instead of doing the first of the month a separate payroll, why don't we just pay the commission 26 times a year, just like all the other staff? That will help us be 32% more efficient with our time and payroll and payments and things like that. Not only that, though, but we're also automating the process, right? We're using technology. We're trying to get rid of entering numbers twice, one into a spreadsheet and then one into the actual journal system. Staff have been great. They've been patient. They've been stretched. They've been pushed. But we're trying to set all that aside and gain focus. You talked about a lot of grants. Listen, if we cannot have our financial statements up and ready, we will not be on any list of getting any grants. Now, after that being said, my goal is to probably by February start off with quarterly financial updates. Where are we at? How are we looking at compared to the budget? What is the budget versus actual? And have those meetings on a much more reoccurring basis. It's been a long 3 months. In between that, you also have to understand that from our last audit to this audit, we've changed accounting softwares. So the headache that is. But at the end of the day, our auditors have been a blessing to work with. Staff has been a blessing to work with, and we'll keep moving forward. And that's my goal to you. If you have any questions, please let me know.
We brought that up to the last 2 previous finance directors to streamline the payroll instead of having the commission on a separate payroll from everybody else due to the cost. Can you continue to send email updates on JLAC to all the commission so we're aware of what's going on?
I will be glad to, sir. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
There'd be less taxes, too, right?
Well, you're right. And even enterprise systems, right? Enterprise systems, we have to, what the town manager is working on, at least having a plan, right? We can plan better for major capital improvements that are going to be coming down. If he talked about leveraging, enterprise funds, well, guess what? You need to have up-to-date financial statements. And matter of fact, our bank, we've been putting them on hold, Synovus Bank. We have a loan with them. The compliance department has been reaching out to me. Where's your financial statements? So a lot of pressure, but the good news is we're almost at that finish line, thank God. But staff is going to turn over, and we're not going to be late for our 2023 audit. And so, and not only that, though, but we're going to be continuing to nurture an environment of financial stewardship, reports that are accurate and timely, so that you can make financial decisions. That's all my job is. My job is to provide you with recommendations as well as financial information.
Thank you, David. And again, I want to emphasize the work that David is doing, is extremely difficult in trying to catch up with all the work that we are trying to get done with the audit and getting it completed. I'm getting phone calls on Saturdays, 8, 9 o'clock sometimes, getting updates. He is doing a tremendous job. And thank you, David.
Thank you. Commissioners report. Commissioner
I
Jacobs.
actually got questions for the town manager. Where are we at on the HR contract?
Contract was reviewed by the Nordic contract.
Which one?
The
The HR contract, the HR.
HR with Nordic.
I noticed we still don't have a HR company yet.
I'm not aware of the Nordic contract.
I'm reviewing a contract from Nordic that I have to send to the attorneys.
Okay, so we still don't have a HR company.
No, not yet.
When can we expect that to be done?
Hopefully by the workshop, you should have something in January.
The January workshop's at the end of the month.
No, it's on January 3rd.
Isn't that a commission meeting or?
No, January 10th is your commission meeting.
Hold on. January, okay, 3rd is workshop, commission meeting on the 10th.
Yes.
Okay, so we're doing 2 workshops in January?
Yes, we are.
Per the clerk, that's what the direction I got.
Okay. What about the hiring of the town manager, the contract that we were supposed to have with them for the company that's?
I can speak. I mean, it's like I can speak to
Yeah,
that.
go. We have a contract. I'm in contact with her. Renee Nordic. The attorneys recently reviewed her contract, and I sent it up for her signature. And you could speak a little.
That, yeah, and I've spoken with Ms. Narlock as well. That process is underway. She's provided her contract. We had no comments on that, although we did provide a few of our own in a separate addendum just to ensure that it complied with state law. My understanding is the contract has been signed. When I spoke with Ms. Narlock, she indicated that once everything has been finalized from a contractual perspective, she will be reaching out to the 5 of you,
Correct.
Along with the manager, and she indicated she may want to speak with me and some of your professional staff as well to get a sense for the town, for what your expectations and intentions are with regards to that position. And she'll be moving forward to hopefully get that process rolling. I would think if not by the end of the year, certainly in January, given the holidays. But I believe she is currently engaged and the ball is moving forward.
Okay. So then January workshop, we should have these ready?
Well, there will not be anything coming up in the workshop with regards to the recruiter. The commission's already
We already
approved her
approved
engagement.
that.
Commission
Okay.
approved her
Just gotta
engagement.
make
That
sure.
contract is signed.
Correct.
She should be, again, I expect she will start her work before the end of the year, and it will continue in earnest into the new year.
Okay. And the HR contract will be on
Yeah,
the
I'll
next-
bring it here before by January workshop. You will have it.
All right. Just seems this stuff keeps getting drag out and not getting done. So we're months into this already. So that's all I have.
Commissioner Hoskins.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Myself, nothing. Mayor Mohammed is gone. There's some announcements. 17.1, Shop with a Cop, Saturday, December 18th from 8 o'clock in the morning to 1 p.m. Special. Oh, it says 18 here. Sorry, December 16th. Special magistrate hearing Wednesday, December 20th at 9 o'clock a.m. And toy giveaway Thursday, December 20, is that 21st or 22nd? 21st, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Workshop commission meeting Wednesday, January 3rd, 6 p.m. Regular commission meeting Wednesday, January 10th, 7 p.m. Special magistrate hearing Wednesday, January 17th at 9 o'clock a.m. And workshop commission meeting Wednesday, this January 24th, 6 p.m. It is 9:21, and the meeting is adjourned. Everybody happy? Have a good evening. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you all.